Right.
Oh, Frank's rolling.
Yeah, Akway merch.
Up, man.
You're supposed to bring the hoodies.
Is that? Close that shit down, man. No, it's not there. I should have put the hoodie on.
You're supposed to bring them hoodies, man. And where are our hoodies at from y'all?
We got them, right?
Don't we?
Welcome back to Eat and Talk, everybody. Today we have some very, very special guests. But before we get into it and introduce ourselves, we just want to give a big shout out to Vanless Lemonade. Their local black business, organic, vegan lemonade is actually my favorite. I think the first time I had it was at the Growth Conference.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So shout out to Asia. But over the summer we had a Growth Conference and they gave us lemonade. It was the best lemonade I've ever had. So shout out to you guys. But my name is Yusra and
I'm Gilbert, and we're back with another Eat and Talk episode.
yeah, so we got some, like I said, special guests today. We got
Celebrity barber himself.
one and only.
Mr. $100.
Yes. Mr. Akways. We got Akeem. And we got another goat here. We got Nate today. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming at this bright ass time. I can't believe I'm up right now. But
This is like the earliest we've
this
ever
is
done
the
an
earliest,
interview.
y'all.
Like,
Woke up at 7 a.m. for this.
Dedication.
Well, we gotta get
thank
to
you
it.
for
Akeem,
having
it's an
us.
honor, man. It's an honor. For
He was
sure.
on the late this morning.
Yeah. But you ain't gonna be late for that $100 cut though.
Yeah,
Nah.
y'all, he charges $100 now.
But we'll get to that though. We'll get to that. But
So yeah, Akeem, why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself?
Akeem, don't be humble.
Yeah,
don't be
don't
humble.
be humble out
Akeem, don't be
here.
humble, yo.
Yeah.
Talk that talk. Talk that $100 talk.
Yeah.
So my name is Akeem Akway. What I'm supposed to say?
Yeah, anything, yo.
So
Give him
yeah,
your resume.
You're Akeem Akway. Who
Okay.
are you? What do you do? Like, why are you here today? 'Cause we
Oh,
just
why am
we
I
don't
here?
bring anybody.
Yeah,
here,
this
so
is
Gilbert
this is
is my
what
special,
got you
yo.
on Eat and Talk?
I'm friends with Gilbert. That's why I'm here. But nah, I'm Akeem Akway. I'm a business owner, barber, celebrity barber.
Yes, I was waiting for that part.
You know,
The biggest in town.
Yeah, we're the biggest in town.
3 locations.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
counting.
Just finish the interview.
But nah, I'm a barber. I've been cutting for 11 years professionally. You guys probably heard the story before. I started cutting hair in my high school locker room
Yeah.
for my basketball team. So how people got to know about me was my senior year, my varsity basketball team, we started the season out, I think it was like 6-0 or something, and then Star Tribune was
It was
coming.
because of the haircuts.
Yeah.
That's why they were 6-0. They were all looking fresh on that cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Star Tribune came and did a story on why we were so good the beginning of the season, and I guess I was one of the main reasons why, because I was cutting the boys' hair in the locker room, and they created a good team chemistry.
Yeah,
And
and,
then,
that you helped build their confidence, so they were
Alright.
able to perform out there. When you look
Dunking
good,
with
you
a
feel
fresh
good.
haircut from Akeem.
Yeah.
So yeah, when the Star Tribune article came out, I didn't really know what I was gonna do. You know, senior year, everybody is panicking. Should I go to the U of M? But your GPA is not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, guys go to Anoka Ramsey. Stuff like that, you know, so I decided when the article came out, you know, you could like read the comments and stuff like that, and some people were like, they were like, "You're really good at cutting hair. You should pursue barbering."
Yeah.
And then that's when I decided I'm gonna go to barber school.
Wow. And that's the first of many articles, by the way, that Akeem got printed on, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so you kind of mentioned that that's
we
kind of
wanna
how you got
have
into
Nate?
barber. Yeah,
Nate, you
we
wanna-
are, of course.
For sure.
So speaking, of the barbershop, yeah, tell us about your story, Nate, how you got into it.
I actually met Keem on a very funny story.
We got time.
Yeah, right. I was about 11 years old. And
11?
Yup.
Yeah.
It was at Northtown Mall. And my mother Hoya gave me $20 for a haircut. And I
For back
accidentally.
to school, right?
Yup.
Dang, how does $100?
I remember those
Damn,
days.
$20 to $100 now?
The good times when Keem was only charging 20. But Hoya gave me $20 for a haircut. I actually spent the money trying to impress some girls at Dairy Queen. Yup.
For those that don't know what Hoya means,
Yeah, it means mom.
Mom,
Yes.
So I thought the Dairy Queen ice cream was gonna be equivalent to McDonald's ice cream, like $1 cone, but it ended up being $4. So when the bill came, it was like $16. I had $4 left, so I ended up asking Akeem, like, you know, my brother, I messed up. Can you cut me for free? He showed pity and love, cut me for free, and the bond built it from there.
That's amazing.
So I used to show up every day, cleaning the shop. He used to tell me dreams about him opening up a shop and everything like that. Then the bond started from there. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And then you started cutting.
Yeah, I actually opened up a food delivery company. Shout out Shifty's Food Delivery Service.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it started in the original Akways in 2015.
Wow.
And then me and Keem had a couple plans about branching out and opening up.
Yeah. So one night he came to my apartment because he lived down the street from me when we stayed in Fridley. I would have him come. He was probably how old were you back then?
14.
Yeah, 14. I would have him come. He was like he'll run errands and stuff like that, you know. So he would come and you know, come to the crib, help me count money and stuff like that, and then.
Can I come help you count money again?
Yeah.
You know,
I got the same job.
so we'll have some ones, or like I'll have a bunch of ones, and I'll just be like, "Here, man, you can keep it. You did your job." But so he started out just delivering food at the first shop to all the barbers, and then one time he asked me like, yo, I got a plan, this and that, and then he asked me for a loan, and it was $1,000. It was $1,000, right?
$1,000.
Yeah.
That was like $1 million to you, but $100 to Akeem.
Yeah, so he took that $1,000, started Shifty Food Delivery Company, because he was getting so much business just by from the barbers in the shop, you know, and then gave him that money. I think I gave you like a month or two, but you paid it back in like 2 weeks.
14 days.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so he's serious. So ever since then, I saw that he was real like business minded, and he was a good person to keep around. And he made my life so much easier because when I first opened the first shop, I was only 24, and that time, like, I'm brand new. I don't know what I'm doing like that, but he was there with me to, like, make my life easier, but, like, being, like an assistant, like, you know, running to get stuff for the barbershop, stuff like that. Like, you know,
From 11? You met him when you were 11?
Yep, 11 years old.
Yeah, so that right there, he showed me that he could, like, we could potentially, like, do business together because he was doing it, like, out of love from the jump, you know? And then
we transitioned from the food delivery to thinking about, you know, transitioning to opening up other shops. And just having that guidance at a young age, I feel like was very essential for my success today. Then,
that's amazing.
Shout out to you, Akeem.
You showed him love because, you know, he saw love for me from the jump, day one. So that's
a
loyalty.
free haircut. From a free haircut.
People are not built like that no more. Like, he really stuck by your side. Like, that's loyalty, and vice versa, you know?
Because Nate used to tell me his brother went to Duke, and, you know, his dad would, like, go to Africa back and forth. So, like, I was, like, the big brother, and we lived, like, down the street from each other, you know? And at that age, he always tells me, like, that's where a lot of kids make their first mistakes, and you could get caught up in the system, like, just by hanging with the wrong crowd. So he stood, like, next to me, and he know, like, I'm all about being professional and, like, not doing clown activities and stuff like that. So
I heard a quote one time. It was, show me who your friends are, and I'm going to tell you your future. Yeah. I feel like I live by that.
Very true. Absolutely.
Touch base on, like, I know you took him back to your village, right? Yeah. So how was that for you?
So Luol Deng, I'm really me and Nate were really good friends with him. I started cutting him when he was playing for the Timberwolves. When I first met him, he was like, "Hey man, I think God sent me here to bring you back to Africa. You looking lost out here." So I was like, "All right, cool." Yeah, he said I was too Americanized, you know. Yeah. So Luol Deng, he promised me and Nate he was gonna bring us back to Africa. So maybe a couple months later, he was like, "Hey, y'all ready?" So I told Nate, I think it was like we had like a 3-day notice.
Yeah,
like
to go to Africa.
Yeah. I'm like, Hey,
We did
the yellow shot,
Yeah.
or the malaria
The
shot.
malaria shot, yeah.
So like everywhere was booked out. Me and Nate, we drove to Iowa just to get the shot. And then when we got like to Iowa, the hospital people here called us. They were like, "Hey, you guys still need them shots? Spot just opened up." And then we drove back. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to Africa, man. We gotta make it happen." So
speaking of Africa, real quick, tell us about your background. Where are you guys from Africa?
okay, I'm from Gambela, Ethiopia, and
I'm from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, but I was actually born in New York.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How
You
about
claiming
you?
Africa, don't claim New
Yeah,
York. You
yeah.
claim Africa.
Yeah, so when me and so Nate and I went to Kenya first, because Luol Deng, he had other stuff going on in Europe, so
Where in Kenya?
Nairobi.
Nairobi? Okay, that's
Where
where
else?
our mom
Everyone,
lives right now.
yeah.
And she
really?
lives in
Yeah.
Kenya,
We
yeah.
messed up. We didn't go to Mombasa.
Oh, Mombasa's where
Yeah.
she lived. And
Everybody told-
Malindi,
Yeah,
most
yep,
beautiful
that's what they
places
said.
ever. Yeah.
It was actually a beautiful experience to be able to go back home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking from somebody that was kind of looking at it on the outside perspective, it
Yeah.
was beautiful to see Akeem go back and give some of the kids,
Yeah.
who, remind us obviously of ourselves at a younger age,
Yeah.
that it's possible to do that,
Yeah.
that type of journey and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think, truthfully, when we went to Gambela, he hasn't been back for 20 years, so it was like
That's why Lou
Yeah,
Dad said
yeah.
they sent him here for a reason.
But honestly, it was beautiful just seeing that some of the kids was able to see firsthand that type of motivation, and it was crazy. We actually met a kid, so we was in Gambela. He took like 3 buses, walked like 45 minutes to come meet Akeem. He was a barber,
Oh, wow.
and Akeem's too humble. He don't like.
I know he is, yeah.
He actually sponsored this kid,
Yeah.
and he became a barber.
Wow.
And to this day, he still cuts in Gambela off the clippers he gave him, gave him a couple
Wow.
capes,
Yeah.
hoodies and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
same thing, I go back to talking about, show me who your friends, let
Yeah,
me tell your future.
absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
I always give gratitude to people who are able in that position to give back, Similar to Luol Deng, we met Lou through a cutting experience and the type of knowledge and genuine love he was able to show. Spoke distance to our success.
Yeah. He so we met him in Kenya, and then he got a brother named Biggie. Biggie was showing us around Kenya.
Shout out DJ Biggie.
Oh, Biggie. Shout out to
Oh,
DJ
really?
Biggie.
Yeah, so we was in Kenya for about a week, and then this guy, he likes to storm around. His phone dies one night in Kenya.
No
way.
You must have been scared.
Yeah. And we always talk about decision making. I'm like, hey,
critical thinking.
it's critical thinking. If your phone is low, we're in the middle of Africa. We don't know nobody here. Luol Deng's still not here. You want to go out there hanging out, man? So he go out there, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm not staying in an apartment."
Sounds
all
like
day."
someone I know.
So he called me like, "Man, my phone about to die. Can you call me an Uber?" I'm like, "Hey, brother, man."
Uber?
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, "Hey, you got to find your way back to the apartment. I told you not to go out there." And then next thing I know, he's on the back of a moped.
Oh, yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
On my way.
He's on the way
Yeah.
back home.
That's what they do.
Yeah. So we were in Kenya for a week, and then we went to South Sudan, Juba, to help Luol Deng with his basketball program. He got a Luol Deng Foundation going on. So we were in South Sudan for about maybe 4 days. And then we were supposed to go to Uganda, but then me and Nate were like, "Damn, we're already on this side of town. I ain't never been back
gotta go
home,
back home.
Let's just ditch the Uganda trip and just go to Ethiopia real quick,
Okay.
And then luckily, like, my brother was randomly in back home at the same time, and then I think your pops was back home at the same time. Because me and Nate, we don't speak our language fluently like that no more. So I'm like, we go to Ethiopia, man.
You're
like,
on your own.
Yeah, we on our own. Then my brother called me. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in Gambela right now." So we pulled up over there, and then his dad happened to be back home too. So it was a good experience.
I definitely recommend everybody who's watching this to go back home.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a humbling experience, just for the sense of you're able to see everybody who's not as fortunate to get the type of opportunities that you got. So I feel like that's one of the best trips I took. I traveled pretty frequently, but when I was able to go back home, I was able to see that, gain that sense of hunger again. Just like, I always recommend everybody, if you can, take a trip back home to the motherland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of want to touch back on your post that you made with your mom. and you gave your mom a shout out that she let you be you.
Oh yeah.
So how important was that for your mom to not send you to school to be a lawyer or be a doctor?
Oh yeah, my OG, she cause I started cutting hair in her bathroom, you know, so just she never liked me having all the guys come over, guys going through her fridge, you know, and just eating up all the food. So that's where I started cutting hair after school at the locker room, because I'm like, man, y'all not about to come in here for $2, $5. I'm getting yelled at, you know. So like it was dope, cause you know she's not from here, so she saw that I was doing something I love, and you know in school like I didn't have a lot of pressure on me because she don't know the school system like that here, so literally I could just I never did, but I could just get an F and like she wouldn't know what a report card
Fantastic.
is. You know, like you know, so it's like just me being able to be free. I think it's like it's a thin line, because I could have went south, you know, but like it just comes down to what me and Nate always talk about, decision making. Like how are you gonna, like I could have hung out with the friends that smoked weed all day or like did drugs, but instead, you know, I was cutting hair in the locker room. So her just being free like that, like some of my homeboys, they wasn't able to sleep at their friend's house, you know, in high school.
True, yeah, I
like
remember that.
But she was always like letting me like experience life, because sometimes that's the
How about
best
you, Nate?
teacher.
Very important.
It's actually crazy. The only thing I was going to touch up on that was we did a give back event in 2018 with Jamal Crawford, and we kind of highlighted that. So we were trying to show different paths of success, you know what I mean, with being African American. And it was, we showed a black teacher, a barber.
Yeah.
I personally at the time was doing food delivery. I was running the Shifty's company. And I feel like, especially with being a first generation immigrant, I'm sure you guys can relate.
Yeah.
The pressure, my brother, he went to Duke University, full ride education, you know. I kind of took a different approach. And I feel like with us being the second generation of that, it's kind of our responsibility to, you know, teach the youth that there's other ways of success besides being a doctor or being a lawyer. Because I feel like, especially me growing up in the Ethiopian household, you know, your parents push, you have to be a doctor, you have to be, you have to be a lawyer, but, you know,
That
like
guy,
I said,
he's back there like,
Yeah.
like I feel it.
Yeah.
when you're able to see other people, you know, especially like me personally, I was able to see Akeem take a different path, you know, from the regular norm. It's like, you know, all it takes is one time. And I got a couple kids who still come and get cut that we spoke to at that event. And at that time, they were probably like 8 years old, 9 years old.
Yeah.
But I feel like that influence that Akeem has in Minnesota kind of made that culture of being, you know, being a barber is cool. I feel like a lot of people don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's important. And especially like touching back on what you said about like your mom letting you kind of just experience, like I think me and my brother both know like something that we kind of grew up with, and explaining to our parents is like, let us fail.
Yeah.
So that way we can learn from our mistakes, you know, and that's really important to go through. So that's what's up. Let's get back into Akways a little bit and the barbershop. So tell us about your first barbershop.
Tell us about the first one.
Yeah, tell us about how you got to the third one. Kind of give us a little back history.
So I was.
Don't be humble.
I got you. So I was working at Damien's for about 3.5, 4 years. That's at Northtown Mall. He gave me a chance because I got fired from my first barbershop. And the guy that fired me, we're still good friends too. But it was a good learning.
How you get fired, Akeem? You
You
messed
know-
up someone
Yeah, I'm
lined up?
curious.
No, it wasn't anything to do with cutting. I was partying with, my guys went to the U of M, you know. I was 19, 20 years old, you know, so I didn't know, like, you had to be on time. Like, you had to show up at a certain time for a barbershop. I got into barbering because I was thinking, like, oh, I could just show up whenever, you know. But the owner would preach to me, like, hey, you want to be successful, you got to be here at 10 o'clock, this and that. Because his shop was in the mall, too, you know. So it's like mall hours. It's not just like a regular barbershop. So I didn't know that, you know. He would warn me, like, hey, show up on time. But I'm too busy partying at the U of M with my friends and stuff like that. But he fired me. I worked at Damien's. I showed up late one time to open the shop, And Damien, he was like, hey, man, today is your last day. Because obviously you didn't get the message from the last guy you worked for. He said, I need you to go apply at one of them temp agency jobs.
Yeah.
You know, the factory job?
Yeah.
I was like, what? No. And then ever since that day, I don't think I was ever late again. And then me and him built a good relationship. He, you know, as a young kid, like, he was kind of like what I was to Nate. Like, he had the Benz, he had the condo. He showed me a large amount of cash at his house before. And at 21 years old, you're like, damn, this I could do this. All my friends in college, I could, you know. It's like a competition thing with my friends. Like, they're in college, I'm working. By the time they graduate, I'm trying to have my shop open, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, so my guy showed me that, and it motivated me. And, you know, I saved up about like 30 to 35,000. I felt like I could have did that faster, but the lifestyle I was living at the time, like,
We know, Akeem.
yeah,
We
you know,
know.
like, I'm going
We
out
saw
to
you.
7 and stuff like
Yesterday.
that. But,
Maserati,
so-
condo, name it all.
Yeah, so I saved up that money, and I opened my first shop in Spring Lake Park, and then that one took off right away. But before all that, like maybe the first week, I had a barber quit on me. He was like, hey, brother, man.
Yeah.
He said, hey, I got a daughter to feed, man. Ain't no people coming in here. It's slow, so I'm going to have to dip. I'm like, damn.
You know what's crazy? I remember asking you. It was probably like the third day we was open, fourth day, but I heard the guy complaining.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, you nervous? You know, it's a little slower than Damien's right now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, you gotta trust the process. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's low.
But the way a lot of people don't know this, so I calculated like how much everything was gonna cost me, and like I always had in my mind that if I'm healthy, I'll be able to pay these bills, you know. So I'm like, he could quit as long as, cause I was like maybe 3 weeks booked out at the time, so I already know as long as like God give me like good health, I can show up to work, I'll be able to pay these bills, and that's sometimes what I would tell anybody trying to open a
as well.
business, you
Yeah.
know, like so take care of your health, and just know that's how I was able to kind of calculate how much everything is gonna cost. Like I had in my mind, like, if all these barbers quit on me right now, will I be able to afford the rent and all this? So I had that put away, and then, you know, the guy quit, and I think maybe a couple years later he asked me for a job again, but
So for the kids watching this, like, how much is it to actually open a barbershop?
nah, that was
Different times,
yeah, that
though.
was 2015, and
So now it's more.
I guess it really depends, because you could open one for cheaper than 30,000. It's
Okay.
just like some of the stuff is the location, how many chairs, the plumbing work that needs to be done. So
Okay.
I don't know.
It's probably a
It's
lot
just-
more cost effective when you're out of the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to having to
And
live in
like
the city.
in the mall, it's gonna cost way
In the
more
mall,
too, because
yeah.
everything has to be official. Like, you can't just get your homeboy that do plumbing work but don't got a license to do it cheaper. You know, like
Yeah.
you gotta go through the city code, zoning, stuff like that.
So you have to have a license to be a barber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
you
talk
do.
about that process and how does someone achieve a license?
Oh, so you just go to barber school.
Did
It's
you
a-
go to barber school though?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I went out of high school, so it's a 9-month process,
Okay.
and then you get your license right away.
Okay.
I feel like hopefully one day we'll be able to open up an Akways school.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the.
I was gonna
long-term
say I
goals.
could see y'all doing
guess,
that, to be
yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
really nice.
Professor Akeem and Professor Nate.
Yeah.
I think he has a name already.
Yeah.
Established.
What is it? ABC.
Yeah, it's ABC.
Yeah.
Akways Barber College.
Yeah.
You know,
You
we're
guys
gonna-
heard it here first.
Man, you
Yeah,
heard
it's
it
all good.
So when you guys are hiring barbers, what do you guys look for in a person when you guys are selecting people for your shop or your business, whatever?
Yeah, I just here, you can answer that.
You're
Really.
the manager now, so
Yeah, I
might
was
as
about to say,
well.
the first thing is like personality. You know, how you market yourself. Speaking on that first shop, looking at it in the outside perspective, one thing that Keem always was on top of is like his marketing scheme. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Drake. Drake is able to stay relevant because he's able to touch in to everything that's current.
Yeah.
You know, like Afro beats, hit the U.S. crazy in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
He hopped on a verse with a Wizkid. The Habibi team.
Yo,
you know?
exactly.
Drake's very good at that. KEEM
Yeah.
is kind of like the Drake in the barbering aspect, you know. So the first thing I look at, or we look at, is your marketing, how you take care of your social media. One thing I would always say too is, it might be a barber who's more skillful than somebody, but a barber who's more intact with social media and marketing could be more booked out. So it's like, we look at somebody's marketing tactics, especially how you guys, sell out you guys, club nights, off marketing, people reposting.
The work ethic and also just having young barbers is gonna keep like your brand alive, because the kids are like, they're the future, So like when I hired Nate, he was like 19, 18, so he was able to get the high schoolers to come get cut, all the popular kids, and that's how we kind of hire our barbers. Like, we're gonna see
work ethic,
like like your social life. Are you,
And that's one thing that I respect about your barbershops is like the faces are they're always the same. I've never seen. I'm surprised that you said someone quit on you the first time, but that makes sense. But moving forward, I don't think I've ever seen a different face.
I don't think we've had. How many people would you say have actually like quit?
Probably the most beautiful thing is, I don't feel like people really quit from the shop. It's like they elevate to the next step.
That's what I'm saying. They do. I've seen a lot with. Like, you're probably the only brand that I've seen, because I know a couple boys that have worked, under you guys' wings, and they just ended up doing, bigger things and better things. But due to the fact, like, every time I ask them, like, oh, how'd you get here? They'd always say Akways. Like, we got here because of Akways.
So I think that's something we could say about our brand, is that we've never had anybody quit. It's either they elevate to get their own shop, or they move out of state, or anything. And that's how it's easier for us to, attain barbers, because they like, hey, if Thomas could come and, let's say Thomas came and worked with us for 2-3 years, and he was able to get a shop. So now the next young barber's like, I'm trying to do what Thomas is doing, so I'm gonna go where he went. It's like the Duke basketball reference I say. It's like, we're like Duke. So we send.
That's true. Though. You think about it,
you send people to the league,
right? Like Minnesota, that we get them, send them, and then we trade them away.
So speaking of, we talked about firing. So as an entrepreneur, you guys have to make some very hard decisions. And I'm sure there's some times where you guys actually had to maybe let somebody go. Tell us about a time that you had to fire someone. Maybe you did, maybe you really didn't want to, but you had to do it. And how you got to that decision making.
I feel like that's why Akeem hired me.
That's your job.
That's your job.
They always hire something. I feel like Akeem is too nice. Some people don't bring someone to be like, all right, bro, because
I made a tweet one time. It was like, I feel like me and Akeem's business relationship works out good because he's the calm, collective, but I'm the more slightly aggressive, and direct. You know? And I feel like
have you seen the movie Scarface? Yeah. So Manolo. I call this guy Manolo. So it's like when we need something to get handled, like he'll handle that. So one time we had to let go of a barber, and it was just like, man, I'm on vacation. I'm getting taxed. I'm trying to enjoy the sun, I don't want to be firing people from vacation, So I'm like, man, y'all handle that. And he handled it pretty well. Like, told the person, hey, this isn't going to work anymore. And then the person, like, would reach out to me. I'm like, that's the guy. Like, you got to talk to him,
He said,
I feel like it speaks volumes on, like, your character, too. Because like he said, we never have to usually let somebody go. So if it is that type of problem, then,
you got
that kind of leads me to, like, my next question, because, like, when I saw you guys decided to partner up, and I saw the picture that you guys posted, like, it was a surprise to me, because I was like, who is Nate? How? But then how was, like, the pressure in the shop knowing that someone else came outside to partner up with you, but then you have all the people in the shop that you could have partnered business?
It's like, I'm not going to do business with somebody that's, like, I've known Nate since he was 12 years old. So I know the pressure from the other guys, all the other barbers, they kind of have their goals in place already, They want to do their own thing. Like, you see Henry leave and do his own thing.
Shout out to Henry,
everybody. So, but Nate, he realized one thing. He said, if my right hand man is the best at this thing, and he put his blood, sweat, and tears into it. Why not just invest in that instead of me? Because I don't think he got the passion for barbering like that, but he like the managing, the skill, the
Firing people
you know,
for you while you're on vacation.
so he's good at the business side of things. So it's like, why have him start his own thing? Like have Nate on the building when we already got something that's running well. I might as well just invest into that and make it go further. And this, any businessman, I think that's a smart move, because like if he would have went and started his own thing, that's gonna take 10 times harder, you know. So it's like, why not just, you know, do it under the same umbrella?
That's one thing I would speak on is like, not every time necessarily you have to be fully invested into the craft. You know, I love barbering. I love what it's taught me through life lessons. I personally looked at barbering as a business opportunity, and with our business relationship, I feel like that's kind of helped it. Because sometimes Akeem might look at something more into like the craft of barbering. I might look at it like, you know, actually I think this might be better in a business opportunity. And speaking back with the Shifty's food delivery service, like I've always been around the shop, so I feel like when we did do that partnership, everybody was kind of waiting for it. Like, you know, when you gonna start barbering? When you gonna start barbering?
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like personally, the one advice I'll give for the youth is like, go try that one thing you never thought you'd do. You know, when Jay-Z, he's a big icon, you know, for me and KEEM, but it's like, nobody ever thought Jay-Z would go into clothing, you know, shout out Rock Nation, you know. But it's like Jay-Z jumped into rock wear, and that's, you know, a lane that he personally wasn't invested into at first.
Yeah.
But
I love that. There's an episode that I used to watch on NBC. I forgot the name, but it was about it was a billionaire, and he was looking to hire a partner, not hire a partner, but choose a partner. And it was like a selected group of people, so they'd always do like business plans. And he would test them in slick ways, but something that you just said kind of like reminded me, okay, this is what they need a real partner for. A lot of the people on the show, they were looking to kind of like, excuse my language, like kiss his ass, you know, like just do whatever he wanted to do. But the person he ended up choosing challenged him, was like, oh, I don't like that idea. I think we should do it like this, or I think we should do it like this. And he was like, I'm not looking for an employee, I'm looking for a business partner, and that's what I want. And, you know,
That's
so
real.
that was, and they were black, so shout out to them. That was cool. Out of all
And
of
yeah,
them,
and to
you know,
touch
so
back on that, you guys are prime example of like teamwork, because like you said, it's like there's one thing that I always remember is like you can't master a craft by yourself. Like
no, 100%.
I always give the example, like there's always a shoe person that is good at making shoes, but he's not good at selling the shoes.
Yeah,
So you get someone that is good at selling the shoes, and then you stick to making the shoes.
Yeah.
That goes with you guys.
100%.
Akeem is good at, you know,
There
cutting
was an
hair.
interview with Warren Buffett. He said, I might not do everything the best, but I'm gonna bring the best person to do everything in the room.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and that touches back
absolutely.
basis to like Akeem. So I
Yeah.
feel like Akeem personally, he might not be the best person at firing somebody or handling something in that aspect, but he's gonna bring that right person to the table. I feel like in business it's essential, you know.
Yeah.
Especially yesterday, I loved how you was moving gracefully through the building when you was running your business. Chalo might be handling
Exactly.
the DJ aspect of it, but I seen you doing more of the back work. You know what I mean? And it kind of reminded me about, you know, our relationship a little bit. It was like, you know, Akeem handles more of the marketing, the craft of the barbering. You get what I'm saying? I might handle more like who we need to recruit for the barbershop. Well, I might have to let go. You know, I feel
Respect,
like,
yo.
you know?
That's,
So it's like,
absolutely.
and it plays a big part, bro.
you
know,
guys
shout
need
out
to write a
my man
book,
right here.
yo.
Yeah,
You guys need to write a book.
They do really
Yeah,
remind me
yeah.
of like you and Chalo, because like you are the tough person that nobody likes to deal with. No one likes to deal with Gilbert
Yeah,
at those
yeah,
parties.
yeah.
Like
Oh, bro.
everybody cannot stand him. So that's true.
Shout out the first person I seen personally. I was young. This is a backstory too. Sorry to get off topic.
That's good.
I was 16, so when I first met Akeem, when he first opened his shop, he actually had a partnership with Aqua. So I don't know. Y'all know.
Yeah, Aqua. Yeah.
So he had Akways had a partnership with Aqua. I was 16 getting to the club, 21 plus club. So it was a different experience for me. But it was Jado and Steve, and I know Jado, you know, semi well, but Steve, his older brother, was more, excuse my language,
The asshole.
yeah, the asshole a little bit
Yeah.
into the business. And Jada was kind of like the welcome and friendly guy. But it goes back to the same thing we're talking about, you and Shiloh or me and Akeem. It's like sometimes in business it's good to have somebody
Balance.
who has
Absolutely.
that
Akeem, you made a good choice, yo.
Oh, yeah.
for
At
sure.
age of 11, and then he's where he is now.
That's good training.
That's-
So we talked about your, employees and the business ethics. Let's get into your clients.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Before
Akeem.
we get into basketball, funny question that we want to know about is, how about a customer that you decided that you're never going to cut again? Or, has anyone run off before paying you? Like, tell us a customer horror story. Because we just like to show people that business, because what they see on social media looks perfect.
Yeah.
But not everything is perfect. So we like to give people different aspects. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but we just
Yeah.
want people to know the reality. So,
Yeah.
you don't got to say a name.
No, let Nate say it because
No,
you
no,
humble.
No, yeah, you're definitely gonna deal with a certain type of crowd or people. Like, I've had clients where they'll snap on me for being like 5-10 minutes late because they got somewhere to be, but then I gotta explain it to them like, hey, this is not the corporate world, you know. Like, if my first client of the day is late, that pushes all my appointments back, and that's just how it is, like so when you book your appointment, don't book it to where like an hour later you got to catch a flight. Like, plan accordingly. So certain clients like that, I don't want to deal with it because I don't want to be cutting your hair mad, or I got to be rushing your hair, like it's more of a bond, a relationship. Like, we kicking it, I'm one of my friends, his name is Mo. He comes to me like every 2 weeks. He says that's his therapy session,
I love it.
So it's like, I like those type of clients that they're not gonna be on me like, bro, can you get me in 30 minutes? Like, you want to do that, like, bro, you could go to Great Clips and stuff like that, So, like, but yeah, so it's a lot of
Now they
that.
don't got no choice but to go to Great Clips for that $100.
Yeah, so it's a lot of tough, different clients you deal with on an everyday basis.
We got a word called bean.
Yeah.
So in the shop we use like slick, code words that a client might not know.
Oh, I love
we call it
that.
like bean heads.
Oh,
So
yeah.
one thing personally that Akeem's always taught me is like, in a sense of business, I'm sure you can relate to. It's like, you might deal with the client who's a bean head, but it's like that's the number thing he's probably taught me the most is like how you handle a client shows your professionalism. Shows your sense of business. You might have a client who's a bean head, you know what I mean, but how you approach that scenario, you know what I mean, speaks volume to your brand and stuff like that. So I feel like that's something that Akeem's always been good with, that he's able to.
Because it's like,
de-escalate a
it's
situation.
just like 30 minutes or an hour of your time you got to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
So I'll tell a barber like, hey, just get the money and
don't take it personal.
Yeah,
Just
do
do what you got to
and
do.
then after that, you could even like just block them.
Yeah.
They don't gotta
Have you
book
ever
again,
cut someone's hair in silent? Just they don't even want to talk to you. Like, dang, this man's taking too long with my cut. I'm just gonna sit here. And,
some
Is that
guys
awkward?
you could kind of feel the energy. Like,
Okay.
some guys, they just want to come and sit and chill. Some be really
It's
talking.
relaxing sometimes being in a chair. You don't really want to talk.
I
you just
keep
wanna
sharp, yo. They be clowning on everybody.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
there's no way you can just walk into the shop and just sit there.
The
Be
crazy
quiet.
part, they come through spilling all the tea.
Yeah,
They got
I'm
girl problems.
I'm
and
sure
all.
they do.
Hey, when you hear me say, "Damn, that's crazy,"
Yeah.
that means
That means
I ain't
somebody heard it.
That's what I said when we were
Yeah.
there, like, hey.
I'm like, "Damn, that's crazy." She did that. Oh, my bad.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
So what you're known for is being Minnesota's celebrity barber.
Yeah.
Why are you known as Minnesota's celebrity barber? Don't be humble.
I guess before me there wasn't. I don't know. I feel
Did
like.
you give yourself that title or?
Nah.
Clearly not, because I heard it way before.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was
I
named.
could say this. I feel like, and the guys that's worked with me or the barber community, they could say I kind of gave barbering like life, like,
You definitely
because
did.
it's like it
You
was looked
did.
at as like
You did.
a second chance type of career. Because
Man, he's
barbering,
too humble.
I know.
Yeah,
myself.
you too. Yeah.
I'm like closing my mouth.
I know, right?
Let me just let him
It really
talk.
goes
Yeah.
back to that first shop when you brought up that Spring Lake Park shop. When he first opened the shop, it was really a sense of like him bringing a culture of barbering to Minnesota. Like
Yeah.
before, I'm a little younger too, so some people in the might be like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. But before Keem, I don't know a barber who's charging $40.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
was
a
like
barber
$15,
who's-
$20.
The
Yeah.
trends. All
yeah,
of
I think
that,
we
yeah.
kind of like gave it life as far as like making it cool. Like because young guys want to go to barber school straight out of high school now. And before me, I didn't know. Shit, if there was somebody doing that, I would have been looking up to them, you know. But I didn't know nobody, and maybe it's because there wasn't social media or anything like that. But I think
take the credit. Yo.
Nah,
Take the
so I
credit.
feel like
we give you
we
the credit.
came at the right time, like social media, 2015. So we gave it like life, I would say, in the state, and then
I like how you said we.
Yeah.
He did. But
Yeah.
That's
For
what
real,
stay
bro.
home. So, yeah.
So, and I think just showing the fun side of barbering, not the old boring old man in the shop. You know, I'm like, hey, me and my guys, we gonna be in here watching basketball.
Yeah, fresh.
We gonna go to the
I know,
club
looking
after
fresh.
work. Yeah, looking fresh.
Yeah.
You know, wearing Yeezys, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then social media, like making you guys be able to see it. And then I think that made it easier for younger people to really want to become barbers.
So that's where the celebrity barber
Yeah.
came
So, which celebrities? Who's the first one you started cutting?
John Crockett.
Yeah, I
know
cut.
his
Jared McKinnon was.
Alright.
Actually, was it?
You seen?
No, Jared McKinnon was the first professional.
Yeah.
Like Viking I cut.
You cut John Crockett?
Yeah, I
You
cut
were
him
on the
first.
ESPN when he was getting
Yeah,
drafted.
he brought ESPN to the shop, so shout out to John Crockett. But Jared McKinnon was the first Viking I cut. He, one of my homegirls, Savvy, she worked at, I think, Privé at the time. She was a bottle service girl, and then she gave my number to him. He hit me up, and then I cut his hair. He went to practice the next day, and then my phone started going crazy with the Viking guys. Like,
And you still maintain that relationship with him, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah. I'll be
when he got drafted.
yeah,
Over to
he got traded
to San Francisco.
49ers, and then he's with the Chiefs now. He's a real cool dude because we're around the same age, and he liked the same stuff I like. Like the other day, he just sent me a picture of he just bought a McLaren, so he'd be showing out to me like, look, I see you rent one in Cali. I just copped one, you know. So, you know, he suffered a couple of injuries, and so he missed two seasons. So that could kind of do a lot to your mental. So I would fly to San Francisco, or he was at rehab in Florida, so I flew down there, kicked it with him.
That's
You know?
what's
See,
up.
you're more than a barber. You're just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
real
yeah.
one.
Therapy.
Like, you are a real one.
Yeah, so we was just kicking it in Florida. I'm like, man, you gonna get back. You know, it's all good though. You already signed your name. You got that 30, 30 M. You know, you good. You know, so it's like it's good to keep those type of relationship. But he was the first guy I really cut, and then Tyus Jones from Apple Valley, Minnesota, plays for Memphis Grizzlies now, and then Kat told me one time that Tyus was trying to keep me to himself. So Kat running around Minnesota looking for a barber, and Tyus here getting the freshest cut. You know? So when they one of my videos was on World Star Hip Hop, and Kat's manager at the time, or one of his homeboys, saw the video, and then they reached out to me, and then my friend Ray, he's the manager at the new shop right now. We were at the shop one time, and then I'll be getting random phone calls, you know? I'm like, hey, man, just answer this. I'm playing the game right now. I was like, just answer and play my assistant. And then he answered, and it was like cat people. They was like, yo, we just seen your video. Can you come and cut Cat at the crib? And that went on, and then Kat,
Power of social media.
Yeah.
Then Kat introduced me to the
And it's
rest
like how
of
you
the
treat
symbols.
customers too. I know when you ask that question, like one thing Keem's always been big on is like, it's not always about the money, it's about the relationship. You know what I mean? And Akeem brings that to light with those celebrity people. It's like sometimes it's not about, you know, trying to ask for a hefty payment. You know, what I mean? It's about building that relationship with them. That
I always tell the barbers, because I get a lot of people that want to get cut by me, or like celebrities, they're in town, and sometimes I can't get to them, you know? Like Cat Williams, his manager just called me last
When he
week,
was here,
and they're like, hey, we heard you're the best in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got appointments. I'm supposed to go cut the Memphis Grizzlies team. And then I'm like, which one of the barbers is into comedy, you know? Because I like to pick who to send to the job.
Yeah.
I'm like, Smooth the barber, he works at the Uptown location. He cut Country Wayne before. He's into like black comedy and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, Smooth, go handle that Cat Williams needs his beard lined up, you know. So he went and handled that well.
I love that.
Shout out to you passing the torch.
Man,
yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to you
Absolutely.
passing
That's
the
something
torch.
he's too humble about too.
Yeah.
About Akeem, he'll always throw the ooh, to the opportunity.
He don't want to.
Yeah.
He wants to keep cutting.
And with Akeem too, one thing like for years, because I've been known about Akeem for years, but it's never been through him. I always hear good word of mouth about Akeem for like for like the last 10 years, you know, since like high school. All I hear is like, you want a barber, Akeem. You want to mentor, Akeem. You know, you want to go shadow someone, Akeem. So it's like, his work like speaks for himself for sure. Like it's not him ever being like, "Hey guys," standing in front of the camera like, "Come check me out," you know. It's always other people, you know. So that shows like a lot. So.
I like when I post a picture and they hit me with the goat emoji.
Yeah.
Go.
Absolutely.
I was like, damn, you see that?
Yeah. No.
There was a quote one time. He said, "We determine your success by the amount of people around you who's successful." You know, and I feel like that speaks levels to Keem. You just talk your talk on Twitter a couple days ago.
Oh, what I say?
Man, his brother was talking. What'd you say? You said something about, you know, if you stay around me long enough, you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
That's real. Because I could count like, so since I opened my shop in 2015, we've had Henry leave and get his own shop. Melly, Thomas.
Shout out to all those guys.
Kobe, Mike Black. They all went and got their own shop, and this is in a 6-year span.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Don't be humble,
imagine
Akeem.
10 years
Celebrity.
from now, you know?
Absolutely.
Don't be humble.
So it's just like all the great guys that came and went and.
And then you still got like great guys remaining, like my boys OD and you
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
Amani
shout out to him.
and like they're just killing
Pat,
it.
shout out
like,
to
you
Pat,
know,
too.
Yup. So,
so one of the new guys that I just hired at the Egan location, his name is Abdul number 7. Your brother knows him. They went to high school. He came to me a year ago at the Uptown location, and he was just watching. He's like, man, I'm just trying to learn how to barber.
Yeah.
And then I gave him a pair of my old clippers.
Yeah.
And then he took it, and one of the top Somali barbers had just like stopped cutting hair, so he started cutting all the Somalis. And then when I was opening this shop, I'm like, hey man, I got a chair open. You ready?
Yeah.
And then we threw him in there, and now he's swimming.
Oh, I
with the
love
big boys.
it.
So,
I love it.
so it's just like giving young dudes opportunities like
opportunity,
that, and he's very grateful for that.
Yeah.
So just to go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say everybody knows about like your first location, Uptown, especially Uptown location, but you just opened a new shop.
Yeah.
You know, highlight that for everyone. Where is it at? And everything.
The first location, Nate owns that one.
Shout out to you, Nate.
Mounds View. So we was first at Spring Lake Park, but then Caribou and all them other businesses was hating on us, so we had to move to a bigger location. But so Nate got the Mounds View one, and then we got another one in Uptown right here, and then we just opened one 2 weeks ago at the Egan Outlet Mall. So
that's what's up. That's huge.
The first barber to open a shop at an outlet mall.
Yeah, no, congratulations. And that place needs it. So I love being an outlet. So that's what's up. Because that's where everybody does their back to school shopping too. So one stop everything. So.
Yeah, it's a crazy story behind that. I was looking for a new location for a minute, and I went over there, and then I talked to the people, and then they was like, because outlet malls are retail. They don't got service businesses over there. So at first they wasn't trying to let me in there, but it's owned by 2 partners. The partners that own it that stay in Minnesota, they've heard about Akways and stuff like that. Then the other partners, I think they're in like New Jersey. They're just like the financial side. They don't know what's going on the day-to-day basis. So people here, they was like, man, this guy's great for the community. He cuts the Timberwolves, and I think we should bring him here. It's gonna give the mall a different feel, you know.
Definitely.
And you bring culture, like
cut a hair, go get your outfit, go get a cut, mix,
Exactly.
Go to Nike outlet, get your tracksuit, come out.
Exactly. So they ended up hitting me up. But an incident happened where I was supposed to go to Greece for 10 weeks to cut on a movie set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they was going to pay something crazy, too.
Yeah.
But it was a last-minute thing. I wasn't vaccinated, so I couldn't go. And then the same week, the mall people called me and said, hey, we want you in here. Yeah. So it was like, I would say don't really like get mad at yourself or be down when the opportunity don't
One
go
door
your
closed,
way.
another one open.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing
Yeah.
I like about Akeem too.
Yeah.
To like touch back on. I know you're very religious and faith. You have faith because I know you had a post too that you said your car got towed and then you went to shop. You went to cut and someone paid you.
That was
Yeah,
recently. a couple
yeah.
days
So
ago,
shout out to that.
Yeah.
For,
So-
having
so-
faith
That
and
300
believing.
back.
In the
Yeah.
lifetime.
First customer.
Huh?
You wanted to open the first
Yeah,
shop in
yeah.
Lifetime.
Where I wanted my first shop to be by Lifetime in Fridley because that's where I grew up and thought it was gonna be cool. But Nate was besides me. He's like, man, it's all good, bro. Like, that's just not meant for you because there was already a salon there and they didn't want me there. I'm like, man, I was really down on myself. I kept driving around and we seen Great Clips closing down, you know. And now that I think about it, that actually worked way better, or God did it that way because I saved a lot of money by not having to do plumbing work and all that. But at the time, I wasn't thinking that. I was just sad that I didn't get the location I wanted, you know?
Plus, speaking of work, like, y'all don't know this, but like Akeem at the outlet, because I would be FaceTiming y'all, and they were in there working on it. Like him, shout out to his girlfriend. Like they were painting the walls, cleaning. Like they didn't have a crew come in or anything like that. They would get up 7 in the morning and just go to the store. Aboya was in there.
Shout
like,
out to
helping.
our boy was there to help you clean.
Yeah, like
He was cracking jokes, huh? Like, dang, I don't want to do this.
Hey, you know, Boyo, he's a hustler, so
and he got a lot out of it.
he got
He told us,
He got
told us
paid.
about the story and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
So shout out to you for like, being hands on with your own projects and your work, and
And
being involved.
Honest to God, it was like that from the first shop. I remember I was 15 when he opened up the first shop, but he paid us. Actually, he made us skip school. I skipped high school.
This guy, this how I knew he was a hustler. So he got two of his homeboys, and they lied to their parents like, "Oh, we're going out of state for a basketball tournament." The whole time I think I gave you guys what, like 300, 500?
Wow.
500.
500 so they could paint the first shop. I come in there, the work ain't even done right.
Oh, that's another valuable lesson too that Akeem always taught me was if you want something done right, pay the right person.
Yeah.
There's certain things. He tried to give us, I think he gave us like $500, $400. I was like 15.
Yeah.
That's
A lot of money too at that age.
It was actually messed up. Shout out my man O'Shawn and Tariq, but I gave him $100 each.
I gave him the money.
And it wasn't working. It wasn't working hard.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's a valuable lesson too. You always want something done right.
Absolutely.
I wanted to go back to touch base. Like, is there a story why you have a basketball hoop in all? Well, you have both of your shops, but the uptown location.
Nah, we all grew up loving basketball. So after you find out that you can't go to the NBA, you gotta still live the dream through something, So,
Ball is life.
Yeah, ball is life. I love basketball, so.
Touch base on that a little bit. Like not crushing somebody's dream, but I better interrupt you.
No, go ahead. It leads to my next.
So my brother, I was a senior and I was starting on my varsity basketball team. So he would tell me like, man, you weigh like 130 and you're 5'9", 5'10", you're not going to the NBA. Cut it out. And that's at the time, like, it's how you take the criticism, you know? So I could have sat there and cried about it, but I figured something out. I could have sat there and said, man, you hating on me and not do something about it. But those words was actually good because it made me, like, alter my thoughts, like.
And that's for every person, who's younger, who's youthful. Like, don't take anybody's criticism as hate. Nowadays, they believe, you hating them, you hating them. But, at a certain point, like he said, you could be in the 10th grade, 11th grade. I was 5'4", 5'2". I'm averaging like 6 points a game on varsity. Like, you're not going to go to the league. But you taking that type of criticism could change your life if you take it, appropriately. What I'm saying?
Or what I should have did if I really loved basketball, like I said, I could have went harder in the gym, like practice harder. But instead, I knew that wasn't for me. So it's like you're gonna get that. Deciding.
But now you're living the the dream on the court side.
Yeah.
Letting your feet touch the
I'll be
touch
sitting
the
up
court.
there and I'll be like, is that Akeem on the floor?
So just having those relationships with my professional athlete clients, you know.
No, you deserve that.
Nah, you really do
Absolutely.
deserve that. So I'm always happy to see you. You know.
So for both of y'all, you know, maintaining like an entrepreneur life and everything, how do you guys find balance with like your personal relationships, whether it's you know, your significant other, your siblings, your best friends? How do you guys find balance with your daily schedules and then making time for the right ones in your life?
Yeah. So when you're opening a shop, it's really hard to, you know, like it's a lot of stuff you gotta handle, like business wise and finances and stuff like that. So one time opening this new shop, I was texting Nate or Amane, one of them. I FaceTime one of them. I was like, hey man, this shop is costing me way more than I thought. You know, I'm like, hey, let me borrow 20,000, 10,000 or something. I'll get it back to you. And my girl looked at me like, wait, like you would go to them first before you ask me for help? But you know, I was just joking. But to know that like someone is by your side and is willing to help
Support
you
you.
like financially and them long days, like just needing someone to share ideas and you know, because sometimes I'll question myself. I'm not always like right about everything, but like just to know you go home to someone and they could tell you, nah, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
Like it's good to have another insight on it, you know. So a girlfriend is good to have. So shout out to Danette.
Yes,
you know.
Shout out to her.
shout out
for
to
sure.
her.
Yeah.
How about you?
I feel like it speaks volumes, you know, on a person you're building with. You know, me personally, when I came into business with the KEEM, with the partnership, I invested into the shop, and 2 months later, COVID hit. You know what I mean? So when I first met my girl, you know, I was on the top of the world. You know, God's grace. Yeah, you know, I was sitting on a good amount of liquid cash. When COVID hit and I invested, you know, it was kind of like my rock bottom. But it speaks volume to see your partner, you know, support you mentally, you know what I mean, with, you know, motivation and, you know, keeping your spirits in good, you know, good levels and stuff like that. But having like a partner, like how you said, having a partner that you can come home to, that, you know, can encourage you, you know what I mean, keep you balanced. And I think you brought it up earlier, it's like, you don't always want somebody around you who's a yes man.
Yeah.
And I think Law Dane really taught me that too. It's like, it's easy for someone to be like, yeah, you right, bro. Yeah, you right.
Yeah.
But, you know, me personally, shout out you down to my girl. But having somebody who could tell you when you're wrong, you know, speaks volumes to that too. You know what I mean? Like, value that. Or even like in our business relationship, like, I feel like a lot of people be scared to tell Akeem something when he's wrong. Or something, you know? Like,
That's why I got Yusra on the team. So that's
the child feel the same way, like, but hey, hold on, man. You're not letting nobody go for $100, my guy. You feel me? But, you know, me and Akeem had that type of relationship. It's like, you know, having people around you who can genuinely tell you, like, yo, I don't like having nobody around me. If you see me doing wrong and, you know, you stay quiet about it, like, I don't want you around me, you know. I value people who can tell me, like, yo, man, you tripping. Like, that's not even a good move, you know. And like I said earlier, don't take that as hate. That brother's not hating on you. Sometimes be genuine advice. And that's the same thing with like my relationship. I value when I come home and I tell my girl, like, man, I'm about to fire this barber, like, this brother tripping. She'll be like, you know, baby, I think you was tripping. Like, you wrong, you know? And you'll value that, you know?
Absolutely.
You know? A lot of people say, yeah, you're right. But
Yeah. No, I love
So
that.
to all the young entrepreneurs out there, I say, go get you a girlfriend.
Yes.
Man.
So somebody
Yes.
that's gonna
the right
stay
one.
by you.
Yeah,
Not
find a
someone
good
who's gonna
queen.
distract
Yeah.
you, but definitely.
So I got a
someone who
question
holds
for
you
you,
down.
Akeem. So Mount Rushmore for Barbers.
Damn.
in Minnesota,
Just, yeah.
In Minnesota.
With your face on there, who's the other three?
That's a good question.
So it's like what?
do you base it off finances? Or do you base it off?
Yeah, because it's different. All right, so if you,
Okay,
I
let's
would
do
say
finance.
I would say my favorite.
And then,
Or talent.
talent.
I think talent.
Let's do talent.
Talent?
Yeah.
Talent. I've seen like a lot of great barbers.
It's four.
Me and Thomas Faze, we always have this conversation. We was drunk one time. I said, hey, I whispered in his ear. I'm like, hey, I know a lot of guys tell me I'm the GOAT, but I see you. Like, I really, you're one of the only few guys I could say, damn, that brother's actually good. Like, I'm not usually super.
Give me that top four.
Yeah,
super
give me
impressed.
that top four. I want to
Go
hear
ahead.
that.
No,
So
I'm
it's you,
yeah.
unless you don't want to put your face on there.
Nah,
you
put
can be
your-
the
No, your
mountain.
face.
You can put the whole. You can be the whole mountain.
Choose three people, because it's hard to 5'4". Put your face in the middle or left.
Nah, I
whatever,
I can't be
whatever.
on it.
You can't be on it?
Okay, yeah,
fine.
don't put your face on there. So four. Give us the top four.
I would say my favorite guys that I've seen. And
Remember, Nate said, guys, remember,
okay,
there's
you
no
can be
hate.
biased.
There's no
There's
hate.
no
Yeah,
hate.
there's
no,
no hate.
nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Thomas, Henry. Henry,
Okay.
real talented. Abdallah is really good. He's a young barber that.
He's who you brought to my pop-up, right? With the long hair?
Yeah. Abdallah. He was. Abdallah's. These are my favorite. Like, you guys could decide something else. Ray is really good.
That's 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess those guys. But then.
Odie about to
I
come
don't
for you.
No, you know, OD.
That is about to come for you.
There's no
I'm just
hate.
joking, but
OD,
yeah.
that's my guy.
That's good.
Right
That's a good.
So those guys are the ones that I seen.
Barber,
like, you
Mount
know.
Rushmore.
Yeah, but as far as like swag and other things, it's different, you know. So
Yeah.
like, you got OD, all the other guys.
Yeah.
How about you, Nate? You agree with that list, or you got your own?
How about we hear your own?
Yeah.
Me personally, you know, like I said, I'm a little more the aggressive, but my top, I wouldn't say, you know, if I'm talking just who motivated me personally, I'd say my number one obviously would be Akeem. He's
Facts.
their man's
Yeah.
guy. Second one, shout out B. He's actually one of the owners of Gold Room. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit as he should. Yeah,
But B don't count because me and B and Tavares and we're all like in the same class.
Yeah,
so,
I put,
like, I don't think people look at us as like for
and
cutting anymore. It's like more of like business.
Kind of like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, you know, I'm not, no disrespect to B. I'm not comparing B to Jay-Z, but I'm just saying, like, you know, nowadays people don't look for
Like
Jay-Z's
as like
music.
the best
Yeah.
rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
But on my Mount
like
Rushmore,
the
I'll
best.
do KEEM. I'll do B. He's actually owner at, what's the mall?
Eden Prairie Mall.
Eden Prairie Mall.
Wow.
But he's been in business over 10 years. He's solidified in that aspect. And,
Shout out to him.
Yep. And I relate to that more. He's in a business aspect and stuff like that. The T-Fades.
That's 4.
Yeah, is that 3? Akeem.
No,
Brown,
Akeem B.
Thomas.
Is that 3?
Damn, my last one. Who would have? Oh, Dom. Final Cuts. He actually owns the mall in Mall of America.
Yeah, he's,
Wow.
Oh, I know.
yeah, he's the OG. He's the
Okay.
one that
Shout
we
out.
all worked for him
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
you know. So
Okay.
you know, Dom. Shout out to Dom. He's the one that fired me.
Oh.
But that's my man. So we be on the phone laughing and stuff like that.
So there's gonna be a part 2 of this interview before we end it,
Absolutely,
but
yeah,
I'm
for
gonna,
sure.
you know, I know Jay-Z. I know, you know, you look up to Jay-Z and stuff like that. So you know the $1 million question, right? The $500,000.
Oh yeah.
So how would you? I know Jay-Z is your man. Would you take the money or
Yeah,
would you
you
sit
would.
down with Jay?
Yeah, I'm
Take the
taking
money.
money. Hey, I'll take 10 bands.
Right.
Low key, right?
No.
I'm taking
Yeah.
10 bands. I think that's 10 bands right
hell
now.
If me personally, see my language, sorry about that. But 10,000? Nah.
No.
I'm
To
sitting
sit
there
with
with
Jay Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, cause I'm thinking like I've seen so many of his interviews. Like what we gonna talk about at the dinner table? Like he's taught me so much through music and you know, interviews on YouTube. Like,
But is it about the conversation, or is it just the aspect of the networking, like
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
getting
for sure.
plugged?
That's
you
what I
know?
said. 500,000.
Like I could
Give me
sit
the
with Jay Z,
bread.
he don't gotta
That's
say a
true.
word. But if like I'm like, can we meet again? Like,
and he said no.
can I come to your like fashion show? Can I be in your next video? Like,
It's like, nah, me
That's
and
about
Beyonce going to Italy.
Yeah.
Go back to Minnesota. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take the money.
You can't
I
you
know.
take 10 over Jay?
I think I might take 10,000, man.
you can make 10 in a week, but
Yeah, but you know, the final question is like, you know, the advice. I know Nate has probably given more advice to the youth, and you've shared your own side of advice to the youth. Like, what is something that you want to tell these youths that are gonna watch this? And
I'll give a couple advice.
actually, you know what? Before you give the advice, please explain to the people about the $100 cut.
Oh yeah.
yo, Gilbert's really
Break it
pressed
down.
about this
Okay.
$100
So
cut.
I started out cutting for $5, $2, and you know, time, economy grows. When I was cutting as a professional barber, haircuts were $20, and you know, I look at my schedule, and you got to know your worth. You know how valuable you are. So if guys are booking me 3 weeks out, that means one of the barbers I look up to, Los Cutted, said if you're booked out a month, 3 weeks, that means you're too cheap. So I look at that like, why are these people booking me out that much or that often? I'm too cheap. They got access to me like that, you know. So you gotta up the price and weave out certain clients, because I got a lot of clients that were like, so recently I went up to $100 from 60, because what was happening was I got a lot of clients that would pay me $120, $150, $200, and they can't get in because someone who's paying me $60 a cut already took the slot, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'd rather like weave out like the certain clientele with that type of money, and then get the people that pay more attention to their hair and care about their hair more, and they're willing to pay that much, you know?
Gilbert, it's not just guys. You know how much these nails cost now, and how much
I know, but
hair,
I'm going to Nate now
like
from now on.
everything.
Akeem, I'll see you on my birthday.
Yeah. And that's what I told, I made a Facebook post. I'm like, but some people didn't.
I saw that. You were like, hey, bros, girls are out here paying $300 for
that
like
nails, $50
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I can charge.
That's what I was telling people. I'm like, I want to look at my haircut like how you spent money for Gucci, like a Gucci outfit on your birthday. Like Gilbert, you probably not gonna come to me every 2 weeks, but for your wedding, your anniversary, you
Akeem
graduated
is speaking
college,
into existence
you know,
already.
like
Wedding.
all that. So I want my cuts to be for special occasions only. And there's a crazy clientele for that. Like I'll show you guys my phone right now. I'm still booked out.
Yeah.
So I might be too cheap still.
No.
So
it's because you're worth it. I would pay $100
I respect that.
for it.
Yeah,
you know?
I respect that.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna pay $100 for great clips, but if it's like, you know, Akeem, I would pay the $100.
Because it's not just the cut that come with it too. It's a conversation,
Yeah.
the environment, you know.
So what did your business partner think about that when you said,
I'm
I'm about to go $100 cut? Nate, what did you
I'll
say?
be honest, I'm the doubter. I'm the one that be like, hey, brother, you sure?
He doubted me.
I'll be like, hey,
he was like,
man.
do you think it's a good idea? We're opening a new shop in Egan. Shouldn't you want people to want to come right away?
Yeah,
I'm like, but I believe in myself.
That's
and
fine.
what
And
I
that's
believe in
just
myself.
for your prices, not your other barbers.
Yeah. The
Okay.
barbershop price
Yeah.
is not that. It's just if you want to book with me.
I mean, yeah, you're cutting up town. So it's like.
So advice I would give to like young barbers is like, just don't be afraid. I would say, no, look at your schedule. Like, let's say you're just sitting around, you're not booked out. I wouldn't say up your prices because you're not in demand, you know? Once you're in demand, then I say then you could like go up.
Yeah.
Don't skip the process.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I feel so bad for saying that too, cause I sound hypocritical, but it's like a lot of people see my success by God's grace at a young age, and it looks like I skipped the process, but it's really like I just started my journey earlier.
You started early.
No, you started early.
You started grinding early.
So that's the one thing Keem always taught me is like, if I could finish anything with one last advice, like don't skip the process, because you see somebody charge $100, like look what he had to do to get to that process.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think he doesn't have to explain it. That's a good thing about it.
100%.
Like, it doesn't. People see it. They see the value. And
That's
the people around you too. They see. More customers for me now, but
you know, some barbers was probably happy I went up to 100 because I helped them. But it's like my time is valuable.
Facts.
I want to be on the beach, drinking margarita. If I could do, let's say, 3 to 5 cuts a day instead of 12 cuts a day to make the same amount, I'll take that 5 any day. So I could spend time, because that's what I want to do. I want to spend time more on the internet, like learn the TikTok game, because the game is changing now, So I don't want to be in the shop cutting 10 hours a day just to make like 400, 500. I could make that in like 6 hours, and then the rest of the time I could focus on the shop, promoting the shop, or promote on TikTok, stuff like that, because you don't want to be one of them old head barbers that's still doing the same old thing, passing out business cards and stuff like that.
No, shout out to you, actually. We appreciate that.
How about you, Nate? Last advice that you want to give to anybody, doesn't have to be the youth, but what you got to say?
I gotta finish on the same thing I said. Don't skip the process.
Okay.
No matter what you do, don't think it comes overnight.
Absolutely. And real quick, since we're eating talk, just for those, because we've been having a lot of people always ask us this, top 5 places you would eat at in Minnesota.
Jeeves.
Is that Carlo?
This is not Carlo. This is technically Cairo Grill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yes, Najeeb's. Okay, I'm mess with that. Yeah, they love Somali food.
West Bank Diner. Yeah,
West Bank Diner.
Okay.
Yo.
Carlo. We went.
Okay, I love this list. Yo, they're really with it.
Well, we like Capital Grill.
Uh-oh. It's
Capital
Rich got
Grille.
$100 cuts right yeah. But,
Yeah.
man, top 5.
So that was 380.
Mm-hmm.
Are we excluding Capital Grill because of
We can
Oh,
leave.
it's on the small business.
No, anybody.
Oh.
shout out Flo.
Oh,
Flo.
yeah.
His name's
We had him. That's
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the boys came.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
He's on.
Hey, Gold
Yeah.
Room got some good wings.
Yep. Shout out my
They
man
do
Hamza.
got
Yeah.
really good wings.
Yeah. Breakfast bar. Breakfast bar low key got the best
breakfast.
waffle and chicken.
Yeah.
Like better than Roscoe's, and I never had Roscoe's, but they got some good food at
I
breakfast.
mess with it now. I don't know about the first launch, but this one
Yeah. Yep. I know
is
what
way
you're talking
better.
about.
Yeah.
Shout out African Deli.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one in BC.
Yeah,
Shout out my
shout
West
out,
Africans.
yeah.
My Liberian people for sure.
How about Side Chicks, right? Across
Oh
the
yeah,
street
shout out
from you.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nashville. We just name everybody at this point.
Dang, you said top 5?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, but I really want to appreciate you guys for coming.
No, thanks. Yep.
It's really good to have Outlook, and the reason why we had this podcast is because with all the negative things that were happening with after the whole George Floyd incident and everything, it's important for people to see Black brotherhood and to see Black men succeeding and working on things, because you guys are not in the media for good images all the time, as well as Black women as well. We have some phenomenal women on here, so shout out to you guys. Shout out to y'all for remaining humble, making a difference in our community and everything. So
thank you for having
appreciate
us.
you guys, and
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna have you back.
Yeah.
Definitely, y'all gotta sign the new Hall of Fame sweater. We just
yeah.
have everybody sign that.
Let the ghost sign it first.
And we didn't even ask them. We like to ask this to everybody too. That's how you know it was a great interview. There's so many questions that just pop in my head, but I'm gonna just save it for part 2 someday.
Yeah.
But what's next for you guys? Where y'all see yourselves in the future? Y'all still young.
So, like you guys mentioned earlier, I have barber school in my mind.
Yeah.
Also, I'm thinking about launching this online course for barbering, how to really teach you how to build your brand, and then how to get celebrity clients. Working on your craft, opening your own business, barbershop, stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on right now. So
I love it.
just that.
That's awesome.
How about your manager, your right hand man?
ABC. Akways Barber College.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the next thing I'm gonna be devoted to.
Yeah. That's what's up.
over the past
And you still got Shifty Food?
Nope.
going on?
I put that to a close until
Put it to close?
19.
Okay. That's what's up.
No,
These boys are doing some big things. You guys are definitely going to see them around. And you guys have merch?
Yeah. We be having merch right now. It's in the works, but this Thursday, I think we're gonna have an official grand opening for the new shop at the Egan Outlet Mall. I plan on having maybe some of the Timberwolves guy pop up. Maybe have Fox 9 over there too. We're gonna be giving free haircuts.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and that's another thing they do, y'all. They be doing some free haircuts.
Back to school.
Giving back to the community is so important. So that's why I really mess with Akeem, because he has the same passions that align with us. So shout out to you for that.
Yeah.
One thing I would say we got coming is we're gonna do another Akways social gathering. So it's gonna be the black attire.
Oh yeah, they do have that. Those are
Yeah,
really
yeah.
nice.
That's dope.
Those are
That's
really
dope.
nice.
That's
I was
dope.
out of town for each one, but I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna miss the next
You gotta
one.
Inshallah, come
Yeah,
to the next one.
yeah.
Make sure you get your suit tailored too.
Yeah.
Hey, if you coming in a hoodie, you can't get in. Right?
No, thank you
Well,
guys
no,
so
thank you
much.
guys.
Mashallah to you guys.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys.
Thank
Eat and
you.
talk. We out.
Yeah,
We out.
peace.
Appreciate it.
Yo, this man missing out is $100.
Dang.
Where you checking that?